You're laughing your ass off at my team.
There's also...
shut up! He's going to be the number one overview player for Mission in the
No chance.
Maybe besides Dylan Moore.
No chance.
Okay, no, Cornwall's got, Dylan Moore, that's it.
No chance. There's no chance.
I don't like his release, so stop talking about it.
I didn't say it once, but since you brought it up... Francis!
I just got
Francis!
I just got concussed.
Doesn't care.
Tom Mitchell doesn't tug on the ball. Thomas kicks the winning goal and he got 140. Vice captain right now.
Alright, welcome back to it. It is I'm here with SuperCoach Pro. SuperCoach Pro, you have sunk in the ranks this week. I didn't think you were going to turn up, mate. You've done a Matty on completely 360, mate. What's going on?
Don't know. I saw Matty's team and thought I'd do a Matty, but he's actually going up in the ranks this week. So, I don't know. I feel like there's nothing I could do. I brought in the right players, but just had a shit week. So, definitely sweated now. We're at 601, but I see you had a good week.
Yeah, mate, I had a pretty decent week. I think we're up 800 ranks, pushing to the 3-digit mark. This is our last episode. So, look, guys, we're going to be continuing with this podcast on the SuperCoach Pros channel. So, make sure after this, if you're still keen for some SuperCoach content, we're going over to SuperCoach Pro because that's where the second half of the season is going to be. SuperCoach Pro, do you know there's fucking 8 games left of the season still?
Yeah, 2 months of footy feels like a long stretch with the limited trades. I think I'm on 301. On 3 trades. How many trades,
mate. I'm 5 trades, full primo. I don't know if you heard the recent news, being Monday as we're recording this, that Lockie Whitfield is being an absolute prick. And he says, nah, I don't want to play West Coast. What do we reckon, mate? Just suck it up. Play your Angus Clarks, play your Carrolls or whoever you got back down there and just take it for a ride. What happens if you're in the top 1K rank? Would you be trading him or holding him?
I think if you've got McCarthy at flex, it will just take out that rookie that you're fielding anyway. So I think you'll be fine for 1 week. I'd definitely hold him. What are your thoughts on that one?
Me, I'm in a pretty good spot. So my McCarthy is my 24th primo. So he's just going to come straight on for Whitfield, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I was even going to loop like Sheasel and McCarthy, but now I just play McCarthy. So no issue for me personally, but I would want to be keeping Whitfield unless I've got 10 trades and I'm in the top 500 and I want to really bolster my rank. So that's Whitfield tackled early. Let's see what we've done. I've done pretty good this week, but my trades were pretty shit. I did get in Bond for Roberts, which they score the same. Bond is such a fucking loser. Jamie got in Liddy and Mills for Clay Hall and Erasmus. I think them boys outscored the ones he brought in. And Matty, being super conservative with his trades, Zach Johnson for McCarthy, while the big boy on the right has done 3 trades, got in the big nose Bond, the Darcy and McCarthy for Roberts, Clark and Bolton. Mate, you retrospectively liking those trades or you wish you went more pod?
Kind of wish I went Butters over Bont, but that's only 1 week. I think Bont had his 250th on the weekend, so the thought was, he'd go nuts for that one. Darcy was on like 60-something at half time, I believe, and McCarthy turned out to be the only primo to score here. So logical trades, but just shit scores. So, just unfortunate, a bit unlucky, and had a really shit score this week. It only went down 204. It was weird.
No, mate, it's a decent effort, mate. You're still 600 with 8 weeks left. Plenty of football to get back. We're going to get back in here. I mean, we've seen people who are 11,000 in Matty go, back up to 5,000. Myself, I've jumped 2K ranks in, the last 4 or 5 weeks. So season's very much alive, especially if you bring in a couple of primos. I know we're all pretty at the loose end of our trades, but we'll get into that soon. We need to talk about the Kick Sunt Hall of Fame. It was the final day to get the coffee shouts in to see who wins the Brownlow medal. So let's get in the coffee shouts. So there was 2 coffee shouts this week, and let's see if it affected the Brownlow medal thingo. So Dylan, who was, I think he was around second, Dylan Jacotine or Jacontini, he bought 3 coffees. He said, thanks for the Monday watch. Thanks heaps, Dill, and glad you liked it, mate. The Wahab star, who has been I think a 2-time Brownlow medalist on the podcast, he shouted 5 coffees. He goes back to the top with 5 whopping coffee-doos, mate. So we're going to head to the leaderboard and see who's come out on top and who came second and third. So let's have a look at that. And the winner of the Brownlow medal for the third year in a row is the Wahhabi, mate. Congratulations, Wahhab. Dylan's so close, mate. It really came up in the rear there. So, yeah, it could have been a massive underdog story. But, yeah, the Wahhabi wins his third Brownlow medal, mate. I'll be sending you out to that. Great value there, Wahhab. This is about $300 of the Brownlow medal. And I'm going to also give you the SuperCoach ring. Look at that. You can't really see it because of my camera. But, yeah, you'll be getting a SuperCoach ring in the mail as well, mate, because you've been an absolute superstar. Thank you to everyone who supported the podcast, regardless of where you are on this list. Wouldn't have done it without you. I physically would not have done it without you. And congratulations to Wahhab again.
There you go.
There you go, mate. Absolutely. Now, let's get to my really shit team, and let's start talking some trades. And let's start. Are we trading this week? I didn't even ask you, mate. You got like, what, 2 trades left or 3 trades left? Are you trading this week?
3 trades. I'm sitting on my hands, mate.
Sitting on your hands, mate. You know what? Some of us are men of action, and we want to make some trades. So, that's 7 of 7. Oh, confetti! All right, let's get into what we're going to be trading. Personally, guys, I'm not trading shit because I have a team of absolute superstars. As you can see, Whitfield not playing. I've got McCarthy here. She's all gone for shoulder scans. That's one that, I'm a little bit more worried about, because if he's not playing, he's already pretty shit with that forward role. Any chance you trade Sheasel if he is not playing this week, mate, or are you just going to roll with that dud?
I actually don't know. It probably depends on how many trades. If I'm you and I've got 5 trades left, I actually don't mind trading because the roles are a little bit shit, even though he's scored well in them the last couple of weeks, barring this week. But yeah, Whitfield's out, so McCarthy goes there. But if I'm you, I don't want to play Clark at D6 this week, even though Flex deconning should take care of it. I'd probably move out of this and I'd send Rosie into your defense and trade Sheasel. How much money do you got in the kitty?
I've got 25K, I think. 25K into Sheasel. I don't don't even need that 25K because I would like Merritt. So I think Merritt, at his price, is cheaper than Cordwell. He's got Gold Coast and Richmond the next 2 games, mate. Merritt is a, second half of the season beast, and he's just got his midfield rollback. I love Merritt. I think anyone looking for a midfielder or a pod, and he's not even a pod, but someone who's going to do really good for a good price, I think Merritt is an absolute great spanking deal, mate. What do you think?
Well, I've owned him for the last, 6 to 7 weeks, something like that. And I just think, for me, I've been watching him a lot. The role might be there now, but he's been such a hard watch. It's sort of not a player I'd entice just because I'm an owner. I feel like there's better players around the mark. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm actually opposite with this one, Joy. I know your takes, back into the season, he does well and he's got a good fixture coming up, etc. But for me, I know Essendon will get players back, and it means it will make Merritt stay in the midfield. But maybe with Parrish getting injured and a few other players, I'm not sure if that's actually. We'll find out Tuesday night report on the injury list, but hopefully they get some defenders and forwards back, so it actually forces midfield minutes for Merritt more often than not. Yeah,
absolutely, mate. With Parrish, I think it just consolidates his spot there. Maybe even moves Nick Martin there, but. Even if not, I think, he got it back last week regardless of the fact. And I think he's still be good. I know you're a bit hesitant to say, because you've had him all these weeks and he's been doing pretty shit. But, look, I tell you what I'm scared about, mate. As a non-owner in Geelong, I don't have Max Holmes or Bailey Smith, and they're both playing Richmond. That is terrifying for someone like me who's faded them both. How much are they going to hurt my asshole?
Yeah, well, they're probably going to burn you like some spicy tacos, Mad Mex or something like that. But I think Max Holmes is going to hurt you more than Smith. I'm a Smith owner, although Smith's 75% owned. So either way, you're actually getting pounded every week for these guys with their fixture coming home. So I think your team's pretty in a good spot anyway. Like, you're always going to have, 3 or 4 guys that are going to go large every week that you're going to antipod and look at their scores at the end of the game and just want to close your eyes. But with their fixture, mate, they're really going to hurt you. But there's nothing you can do unless you try to trade one of those guys in. But they're just too expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are. And I think Bailey Smith's break gives 160. Could hit it. If he gets another 80, mate, he's going to be very affordable if you want to do some sideways primo trading. we're not going to talk about rookies because it's pretty much McCarthy if you haven't got him, and Alexander Turiu and Archer May are the only really ones you'd be considering. So we're going to look at some primos. I don't think Sarong's an option. Is Butters still an option?
Oh, yeah, Butters is absolutely still an option. He's probably one of my favourite players to watch at the moment, despite, a 101 a couple of weeks. He's better than Bonds and all those other players scoring 60s. I love Butters.
Yeah, I like someone who's not in my team that I would really like, besides Gordon Smith, is Brayshaw. I mean, he's been held pretty well last 2 weeks, and I just think he's just so good. These numbers are phenomenal, and he's got these 280 scores he got against St Kilda, but other than that, man, it's lowest is 96 with some really high 155s, 130s. I'd love to, 150, another 150. So I'd love to get Brayshaw at an affordable price. His break-in this week is a wait and see, but 157, I love Brayshaw. If I could sideways him for one of my less performing players like a Rankin or a Warner or a Caleb Daniel, he'd be someone that I'd definitely be looking at, mate. I really like what Brayshaw's done this year.
Yeah, I do up until this point, but I think the last couple of weeks, if I'm actually a non-Brayshaw and Sarong owner, if you have a look at the 5-round and 3-round average, I'm pretty sure Sarong's been taking him to the cleaners. So I think actually back end when it's a wet season, it's a bit more contested. I think Sarong's your boy. I don't know who gets a tag this week with Jordan. You'd think probably Sarong, because Brayshaw should be able to just keep running the whole game. But Brayshaw the last couple of weeks, 104 and 103, I'm pretty sure, just hasn't been BC worthy the last couple, and I'm not really confident using him as a captain option this week, because for me, I'm already thinking of going Cherry into Bailey Smith, who you don't have. But yeah, it's different with Freo. I'm a little bit confused with Freo players and how they score sometimes.
Yeah, look, I think you just hate every player that you have that's not performing 150s, mate, because I think I got Sarong. Do you have Sarong as well?
Nah, I should have, but I don't have him, no.
Yeah, so I got Sarong, you got Brayshaw. I tell you what, mate, there is like a 10-point almost average gap, and I don't think it's just going to go away in a couple of weeks. Yeah, Sarong's had the better of him in the last 3, but I tell you what, man, Brayshaw's capable. I mean, he's had some close attention, and obviously Sydney's not an ideal matchup, but there's going to be a big difference in price given they both go 100s this week. So Brayshaw's definitely one to keep an eye on. Errol Goulden, second game back, 146, mate. Good pod, or would you avoid?
Nah, I love this pod. I'm hoping Rookie goes here and picks him up, because we're talking about this pick, I think, last night, and I was just saying for a pod, he's your go-to. If you want to shoot up in the ranks and you've got that money to spend, you may as well go Goulden, because we know what he can do. He's an absolute superstar, one of the best kicks in the league, and I just think there's if you've already got the big dogs and you just need a pod and don't want to go a day cost route, I think Goulden's your best bet.
Yeah. Do you have a preferred order of any of these primos from highest to lowest? How good was Raul at 440k, mate? He's been sensational since picking him up. There's a lot of good players really hitting some form at the moment, mate. Do you have a top 5 kind of favourite right now?
Look, I'd probably say Butters, Goulden, Sarong. Scroll back up from me for a sec. Obviously, Raul is up there. Richard's been a bit quiet the last week. Yeah. No tag. Oh, no, he got a tag. That's why he scored shit. But yeah, probably even a Tom Green. I'd probably be looking at inside midfield matchups at DFS and seeing who has the easiest from here on out with 8 weeks to go. That would be the play. So, but any of those guys right now, I'm looking at a 5-round average or a 3-round average for those midfielders, because I want to pick the player in form, not the player I think can bounce back.
Let's look at a 5-round average, mate, and see who's pumping out there. But usually 5-round average highs are the ones that are usually the most expensive. So if you've got some cash this way, Brody Grundy, I tell you what, mate, 152. That is insane. I think in the last 4 games, he hasn't gone less than 154. So he's insane, mate. And I saw what Marshall done to Darcy and Jackson. Is this real? Is this real life? Is this just like a purple patch, or is this big bad Grundy back to his absolute best?
Yeah, this is Grundy of a few seasons ago. I'm actually very confused with this. He's sort of coming out the clouds the last, month and a bit now. So Look, I dismissed him as a pick a while back when I got asked about it, and I just sort of blew it off. But he's an absolute pot of a pick. But I'm pretty sure everyone's got an R1 and R2 already. So, yeah, unless you're trying to sideways a shit ruck like a Nan Curvis or something, then it's definitely a play.
I tell you what, mate. I tell you what, De Koning, if Pitto's back in, mate, this could be something. If we don't like De Koning and Pitto's back in, mate, how are we seeing the ruck set up? Is it you just got to get Sherry and Gawn and that's it? Or are we looking at Luke Jackson, Grundy's types as well now?
We can probably actually go on Sherry, Jackson, then Gawn in that order if I'm targeting rucks. But you surely Grundy's in the conversation now. He can't not be. So I'm probably lowering him a little bit just because I've never really favoured him. But he's probably the merit where he's probably actually number one target going by averages, logically, at 152. But
mate, you missed the conversation, but you have him at 4th.
Yeah, no, I guess it's because you look at the matchups, though. So he's got Marshall. He's going to smash hit-outs for there. But then he's got Cherry in 3 weeks' time. He's got the duo of Darcy and
I've seen 5 good games in a row from GWS onwards, mate.
Yeah, I know. From round 20 onwards, he's going nuts. So, you're probably going there this week anyway, aren't you? For 3 okay games, you're going to get 5 really good games.
Damn, man, he's absolutely steaming, mate. Look, at this stage of the season, I think I read a stat where there's only 2 people in the top 1,000 or 2 people in the top 100 that have Grundy. I know there's a big difference between those 2 stats, but he's very lowly owned by the top teams, and he could be a big pod. And I think right now for positions that I can say we're in now because we're kind of similar rank now. So the positions that we're in, we need to kind of go for a bit of a pod. Should a Primo get injured? Should we need to upgrade our team if you're not there with the upgrades yet? I think the answer is PODs. I don't think the answer is going to be getting in probably the most picked player, which is Bailey Smith. For myself, Max Holmes, just got to hope these guys do shit and I grab someone else like, Grundy or, Goulden or someone that's not in many teams and they just take off from here because, look, you're not going to get anywhere by getting all the big guns now, mate.
Yeah, I tend to agree. There's maybe a few players you sort of want to stop the bleeding for, like the guys with the good fixture, like your Smith and Holmes would be the antipods you don't want to go against, just based on their matchups. But there's a few guys you can antipod as long as you've got a good pod to run with that player. Like my Butters is my Georgie Stewart, who's actually outscored him over the last couple of weeks. Not by much. Maybe I've got a 10-point lead, but as long as you get a guy that you think can match or do slightly better, there's room to move up. But all it takes is one bad week and you've already lost 50 points on the competition.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So for me, my Bailey Smith is the Coney because it was 100k cheaper. And my Max Holmes is Lockie Ash. So I had a chance to get Smith Holmes in at 500k. I decided to go for Ash, pay a bit more because it's a bit of a pod. Hasn't paid out, hasn't worked out at all. But these are literally the moves you kind of need to make and you get lucky. Like, Max Holmes, you can get a 70. If he nosedive from there and Rocky Ash was getting 140s, my rank would be like in top 100. So these are kind of the ones you need to pick your battles on. That was probably a bad call, but it's decisions like that that are going to get you where you need to be, mate. So that being said, I think if I need to get rid of Sheasel, mate, has to be a pod now. It has to be like a Gordon type. I don't think I can afford him. Let's play around, shall we?
Who would you get rid of first? You're in the same position as me, mate. Would you get rid of Sheasel or DeConning first?
So I think it's a pretty easy decision, mate. If Pitto's in, it's got to be DeConing. If it's not, it's got to be Sheasel. The role sucks for Shees, but his role sucks worse if Pitto's in the team. So if for me, let's have a look at DeConing's ruck. He's got Decan. That is not sexy at all. Let's see what we have after it. I'm just clipping this big, tall, dopey blonde idiot. All right, so then he's got Oscar O, which if he's still playing, which he probably isn't. Sorry, mate, I've got to take this phone call. Let's call that half time, all right?
Yep, no worries.
Hello, Jordan speaking. Yeah, good, mate. What's going on? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And any what, sorry? Any electrical... I'm not too sure, mate. Yeah, it's hard to see because the garage door won't, because of how it is, it's scraped, off a chunk of ceiling and all that. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't think so. Yeah, right, perfect, mate. Thanks for that. All right, mate, bye. Sorry about that, SuperCoach Pro. You still there? You still with me, mate? SuperCoach Pro? Prosies? Mate, you there? Yo, are you there? He's gone.
Sorry, my computer fucking glitched out completely.
Oh, good, mate. All right, let's get back into it. What was I even talking about? Burn! All right, second half starts now, mate. I know what I'm talking about. Deconing. Look at him, big idiot. He's got a pretty tough run. What do you think of this draw, mate?
Do you think Pitto would come back for maybe Gorn and maybe the Freo matchup with Darcy and Jacko, or no?
I think, is it a form thing for Pitto? If he's killing it in the VFL, is he going to start, getting a call up there, or if DeConey struggles a bit? Because, DeConey should have fucking eaten Port Adelaide alive, but he got killed. So, mate, we can speculate until Thursday, but as soon as we see Pitto in, mate, it's alarm bells. It's going to be DeConey to Tia, and then I'll be trading him out. But, yeah, look, it's a simple one for DeConey. If Pitto's in, he's gone. If not,
I'm happy to go down to 2 trades to get rid of DeConning with 8 weeks to go if DeConning's name was Pitto, because I'm not having a bloke averaging 70 or 80 in my flex to get rid of a shit score that's going to also be an 80.
Yeah, for sure, mate. So let's experiment with one, Pitto being in and, Sheasel being out. So right now, if you guys got more money than me, or you can do more than one trade, I think Goulden is a very nice pod to pick. I also like Brayshaw, but, you can wait a week on him. I wouldn't be going for McCluggage as good as he's been doing because he's pretty highly priced. Same with Tom Green. And anyone else above that is too expensive, mate. Thoughts so far?
Yeah, I think you're right, especially the price you're looking for. Who would you go, in your opinion, for 565?
All right, let's see. I can't afford
Georgia Hewitt season.
I can't afford him by 200K. I don't.
$200.
For some reason, I don't like him. I mean, I just don't like Hewitt at all. I mean, I know he's had sensational numbers. I'm never going to get these numbers. What do I think he averages from here? I don't know, mate. It's just fucking Carlton. I don't trust him. George Hewitt, yeah, he's an all right option. I don't mind it. 9.3% of teams, not too bad. I just don't think it's a sexy pick. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm going to rule him out for me. All right, call it. There's no science behind it. I'm just ruling him out. I don't like him. Even I like Cook Miller more, even though I know he's not a good pick. I mean, his position says that he's not pick. His half forward role is not nice to look at. So, mate, what are we doing here? I have no bloody idea. I think it's Zach Merritt. I mean, I've been talking about it. It's Zach Merritt for either one. Easy fix. He's cheaper than them. He's an absolute premium. It's Merritt for me, mate. And I'll try and find an option for you if you already have Merritt. But yeah, look, I think it's Merritt by quite a bit. Hopefully you have some more money than me. You can get a better play because I think Goulden's not too far off. And, Brayshaw, and you get an absolute A-grader. Obviously, you can, if you want to get a pod, You know, Noel's in 15%. If you can get another Ruckman, Darcy at 10%, you know, I think Darcy Cameron, yeah. So I think that's what I'll probably be doing, mate. This looks pretty good if Pito's in, and then I'll just back Merritt in to have, you know, he's an uber premium, you know, 8 years in a row. So, like, I'm going to be backing him.
Because I'm a Merritt owner, as we said before. So if you're backing him, it gives me a bit of confidence. But I'm still very worried back in the season. If you grab him, though, then at least we're on the same train and we could both punch drywall if he stinks it up over the next couple of weeks.
I'm that confident Merritt's going to do good. It's just not even an issue. Even Darcy, I know he scored shit, but I know you got him as well. So I'm saying all your players, mate, you should have a good week. Sam Darcy, he will kick a bag against North Melbourne. Toby Pink, you know, Griffith Logue, don't think so. This guy's kicking 6. This guy's kicking 6 minimum. I think he's got 130, 140 plus in him. He's a great pick still, 4'8". I'd rather have him than Rankin. I'd rather have him than Petrarca. I'd rather have him than Warner or Caleb Daniel, mate. I still think he's a great pick, even though I don't like 12 forwards. But, yeah, I think Gordon is the best pod you can probably pick up.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Even Sam Darcy is a good shout with the fixture score 72. So it's a frustrating one. Like, I was a week too late on Darcy and a week too late on Bont, but it sort of hurts. But my team going forward on paper looks good, but we know teams on paper can have a really shit week. So I think you're right this week for me. If I'm got trades, I'm going Gordon if I had the coin as well.
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think he's just, you know, like, he's just so good. And he makes me happy if he was in my team because he's just at a really still affordable price, and no one has him because, you know, you can't start the season with him. So definitely a massive pod potential. And yeah, mate. So let's not harp on that for too much longer because I want to talk about captains because there is a lot of teams playing now that the buys are over, and I want to make sure I'm number 1 in SuperCoach by the end of the year. So what I'm looking at is Bont or Sherry first up on a Thursday night, mate. What do you think about the potential of both of them and Darcy?
I think Darcy is a bit of a pod VC if you got the balls to do it. I think Sherry's your safe option, but I think Bont has the better ceiling because Bulldogs should thump him. So I think the scaling should go to Bont. If it's a closer game, the points should go to Sherry. But we know when North get belted and Sherry does well, he's like due for like what he did on the weekend where he had a good game, but he's only got a 111 because they got thumped by how many points by Hawthorn. So you're probably VCing the guy with the ceiling, and that ceiling game is really for Bont to go nuts, I think, against the North Melbourne midfield. And then captain out. This is how I was on the Saturday night, actually. So much. So yeah.
What are you doing in the dark there, mate?
Yeah, stroking one out. No, I don't know.
My student's gone black too. Yeah, look, yeah, you're just having a toss in the dark, mate. Look, can you just wait till the potty's done before you have Jacks? But look, I think, well, English, right? He got smashed against Grundy last week, and Grundy got 170. That's why I'm thinking Sherry is also an option because English obviously leaks a lot of points to Ruckman. We just saw Grundy go to absolute town, got the high score of the week. So we've got to look at Sherry's form, but we've also got to look at his opponent's form, which is English, who has been leaking a bit. And then there's obviously Bont, who looked so uninterested last week. So it's going to be something to think about, mate. If I had to put you on the spot, 1, 2, 3, who's your order for Thursday night football vice captaincy?
Okay. Bont 1, Sherry 2, Darcy 3. Ed Richards I haven't even considered because he just absolutely giving me shits at the moment.
I think he's going to bounce back, mate. 120. I've got a good feeling that your team's going to go nuts this week. Now, if you owned every player in the comp, is it Bailey Smith time? Is it Max Holmes time against Richmond? Or are we looking at a Tom Green against West Coast? Or even Lockie Ash is a bit of a smoky. No Whitfield. He's going to take all them kickouts, leaks a lot of points to defenders, West Coast Eagles. I don't think I have the butt holes to do it. But, man, there is a lot of options to explore for captaincy this week.
Yeah, I mean, if I had every player in the league, like every good player, I'd probably go Lockie Ash into Holmes. I think would be the play, or Tom Green into Holmes or Baz.
Wow.
Other than that, maybe Dacos goes nuts against Collingwood against Carlton because Carlton are useless.
Pretty useless. But they're $1.02 odds against Richmond. I mean, they're going to get smashed, and I think there are going to be some gigantic scores somewhere in this Geelong game, and one of them is going to be, or two of them even, is going to be Smith and Holmes. Mate. They are going to go nuts. I want to try and get them in.
I think Tom Stewart and Jeremy Cameron are going to go nuts for this game too. I can see a 130 plus for both of those guys.
Yeah, I think they're all going to feast, mate. I mean, at Geelong, $1.02 favourites, Richmond, man, that's a feasting. Sadly, I don't own them, so I can't consider them. But if I did have either of them, that would strongly be a VC for me because I want to see the highest scoring player first before I make my C. So I want to put my VC on them, and then I want to see that 150 from Holmes or that 150 from Smith, and I want to make sure that I get it. Because if Sherry pops out at 125, I'm probably taking it. If Bont pops out at 120, I'm probably taking it. I want to see these big boys first against Richmond, and should they fail, then we can start looking at something more creative, even though it's a bit disgusting. So, but as captain, that's something I'd probably have to do. They're probably not the two best options, but I definitely want to see this Geelong matchup first.
I think if I'm you, George, I'm 110 body percent. Yeah, full sending it. Like your option for the Sunday, like you can wait. You can grab Dawson on the Sunday game for you, so you can literally grab him as your captain. I think he would be the player. So for you, you've actually got it in a luxury spot where any of those guys can be your VC and just chuck the C on Dawson. You should be okay because, Melbourne's midfield shit. So I think you'll be fine. I keep forgetting that you got no body Geelong players though. So what were your initial thoughts? You reckon for your VC? Are you going that Thursday night game then?
Well, it's going to be a Bont or Sherry that Thursday night, or even if I wait and pick Nick on, because he's from memory. I just remember him smashing Carlton, but obviously he didn't. He got 94 points round 4 and 101. So look, I'm most likely going to be tinkering with Sherry or Bont again. This fucking bastard owes me. Like, I don't know how often Bont didn't even score less than an 80 last year, and he's got me a 63 on his first game for my team, and he's got a 60. Yep. That's a pretty shit form, and one beating up on Richmond. Like, he owes me. It's kind of just principle now. Like, I'm pretty sure look at this. This is a good record against North. 123, 157, 169. I'm probably picking Bont just based off that. If Sherry goes nuts, so be it. I think I'm going to have to back this stupid imbecile in again. And if Bont does horrible, my team personally, I'm going to probably chuck the C on Nick. Fucking, Essendon's pretty shit too. So it could even go Rao. It's a tricky one, mate. It's a lot easier if you've got the Geelong boys. So it would definitely be Bailey Smith or Holmes if I had to see, though, and then thinking about that Thursday night game.
I think if I'm you, actually, I'm going, I think you called it, Bont into Dacos, because at least Dacos is going to go nuts. Like, Carlton's not the same Carlton they've been over the last couple of years anyway. Like, they've still been shit over the last few years, but they're really shit. They
are really shit. There is Lockie Ash, I just can't trust Ash to get those numbers. I just can't. Like, he's such a shit kick of the footy. It's just the mirror. Like, you're going to have to play a guessing game. I'd rather choose a Ruckman that's playing a shitter Ruckman, but it doesn't look like there's too many in that vicinity. If they weren't playing at the same time, it'd be Bont into Sherry. But
yeah,
look, even Gawn has been a bit down in form. He's got Jacobs at Adelaide Oval, mate. So it's a bit hard. But if you've got the Geelong boys, you're sitting pretty. So I wouldn't be worried too much if you're anyone but me. So.
Yeah. Even Dacos into Rao feels safe to me.
Yeah, I think Rao could be. He's been playing pretty good, mate. He's kind of getting into the position where he might be one of the young players I start next year, I mean, he's been an absolute ball. So, yeah.
I think this week I'm just going Bont into Bailey Sniff.
Yeah. That's smart.
Easy.
I mean, that's what I'd be doing if I had it. He's the most owned premium. So,
yeah, I just think like I'd rather go for the safe captain option too, because I know Bailey Smith should go 120 plus against Richmond. Whereas if Bont goes 120 and Bailey Smith goes 140, then I already know. Whereas if I go if I go Smith and he's my VC, and I don't really have an option for C, I'd have to go Rosie, Sinclair. I can't trust now as far as I can throw him. I'm not going Warner. I don't trust Brayshaw to not get tagged. I don't got bloody Doggo, Dogger, whatever the name is, and I don't really trust Max Gawn at Adelaide Oval against O'Brien because he's pretty restrictive matchup for Ruckman is O'Brien, and so I don't really trust that. And Gawn's looked a little bit shit. I know he played Wits, but it certainly feels like a bit of an easier choice this week for VC and C. It's like more obvious, whereas some weeks we get too many options and other weeks we get like just bugger all, and it kind of really confuses even more. So I think most people will use the Thursday night game as the VCNC, and then most will just play it safe because 40% have homes and 70% have Baz. So I think you'll see a lot of the VCs on Thursday night, mate.
is this a good week to do a pod VC, or is this a good week to keep it safe?
Keep it safe. I think if you do a pod VC this week or a pod C this week, it could really hurt you for some really overthinking matchups that people would be going, oh, yeah, let's go Richards instead of Bond. It could really hurt you.
I'll tell you right now, Marshall, last time they played a ball, was on 164 points.
Yeah, but I mean, Meek did well against Chariots, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. St Kilda are bloody hard to read as a team, as a football club.
Yeah, no, they are, mate. I think personally, guys, it's going to be a Bont into like a fucking Rowell or a Dacos. It's just that simple. Let me enjoy my football on Thursday and Friday night. Oh, there's 2 games, right? If Tom Green would be a great shout. Look, I think we just keep it simple. You guys got the Geelong boys. Let's pick one of those. Get your 150s. Be happy days. I think that's it for the podcast, guys. If you've tuned in for this long, thank you so much. You're the fucking OG, and you must be smashing SuperCoach. If you're not smashing SuperCoach and you're still watching, much thanks to you, absolute kick Sunt. And look, guys, if you still want to buy some handy polos or jumpers, we've got some at the store, and we'll continue to see you on the SuperCoach Pros channel, where we will continue to have updates on rank. You can check out the Twitter. You'll see me probably in the top, 500 pretty soon. Can't wait for the when I overtake you in rank, mate. Should be a couple of weeks.
I was actually going to say you'd probably overtake me by the end of the season, and then it's probably what will happen. But I mean, you got more trades, and you're probably in a better position. I don't know how many points behind you are of my side, but at least you've got flexibility to fuck around with. Whereas I've got no flexibility to use any trades. So you've definitely got it. You might be a few points behind, but yeah, you can catch me.
Let's check to see where exactly how many points. What points am I in? What does this even say? I'm on 34617.
Yep. So 617.
And you, my friend, are on 3471648. Man, numbers. So I don't know. What was that? What did I say I was on?
617. So you're like 130 points behind.
Mate, here we go. Like, I'm coming on hot. I do have Whitfield out this week, so, that's advantage SC Pro. But, look, I'm just happy if I climb the rank.
I reckon you've got me in the cooker, mate. I reckon you're going to finish above me this year. I'm not gaslighting. I legitimately think you will.
Mate, if I make it to the top 100 by some chance, even top 300, the podcast is back. The podcast is back. It'll just be me telling everyone how great I am and then no one tuning in. But look, we do appreciate for all our listeners out there, and yourself, mate, is come in and done a better job than Maddie and Jamie combined. You've been fantastic. Your rank has been really good. It's good to see other high-ranking people in the podcast talking absolute shit to each other. We do thank all our fans as again, but yeah, look, head over to SuperCoach Pro. I might drop in here and there on a live or something like that. So make sure you go over there and subscribe. It's going to be a fantastic year, guys, and we're going to really see what these shit boys are capable of towards the end of the year.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to you jumping on my potty. I'm going to do a team review tonight and whatnot. So I might even do a sneaky live, actually, depending how I go. Because I've called in Cick, as you know. So, yeah, fuck work on a Monday.
Mate, your work probably watches my channel. Like, you shouldn't be saying that. So everyone watches my channel. So
yeah, probably. If I get in trouble, I'll just get fucked at this point. But, yeah, again, thanks for having me and thanks for the series this year and me jumping on and filling in and whatnot, getting the sub vest. So it's been nice.
It's fantastic, mate. You know what? I think I'd love it if we get like 5 or 6 content creators on the one show and just absolute chaos happening where everyone's talking, everyone's arguing. I'd pay money to watch that and I'm involved. So
true. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I feel like probably 3 or 4 is where it's capped though, because sometimes you're just talking over each other a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the funny part though.
Yeah, fair. There's definitely people you want to do some potties with and whatnot for sure throughout the season. And there's some people like yourself I try to avoid unless I really have to. I'm kidding.
Nah, mate, I wouldn't want to be on this podcast either when I'm slowly catching up to you.
Yeah, literally.
And also, massive RIP to the Godfather who has hung up the SuperCoach booties. He's been a great entertainer, great friend of the podcast, and absolute entertainer. So sad to see him go. But, you know, I get it, mate. SuperCoach is fucking stressful.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like getting a text from your missus saying we need to chat at 3 a.m. and you're not home because you're still out with the lads. So, yeah.
Mate, I can't like trading in an absolute premium at top dollar and then getting you a 60. I can't, like, you don't, like, that just fucking hurts. And then you got to show your face on the podcast. It just stings. Like, it just hurts, mate. Oh, guys, if you're still tuning in, you can leave. We're just having a chat.
Is that why you thought I wasn't going to turn up? Because I traded in bonds as well for a 60?
Oh, mate, I traded in bonds as well. That's what I felt like. I mean, like, I don't want to come here either.
Nah, yeah. Lucky you paid me in I don't know what you paid me in, but yeah, I 100% agree. It's one of those things where you just got to show up anyway and just go through with it.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. Hopefully we get next year. I don't know what's happening with the podcast, but I reckon it's going to be something exciting, something tantalizing, something tasty. But we'll see what happens, mate, and we'll see how you go too, champ.
Oh, you just champ me. I'm never fucking coming on here again.
Mate, I'm surprised it's the first champ I do. Like, I champ. I don't know if you watch the podcast. I champ every single person who's in here. Champ.
I know. I've seen you and Maddie do it multiple times, champing each other. I'm pretty sure if I was there, I would have headbutted you by now. Probably.
I love that. Let's go. I'm so keen to get my ass kicked.
Well, it cost me a flight to go to Queensland, so it's shit weather down in Melbourne at the moment. So you're lucky, mate. I've seen the backyard the other day, and you're in the potty that I was on with you. So I'm jealous.
Check out the guns. They're fucking. I can't even do it. Look at these fucking cannons, mate. Fucking strangle you out with the cannons.
Do you reckon you got me covered in a gym sesh? Because I humbly think you do. You're going to smash me.
Nah, I don't think so, mate. Maybe if it's a push-up contest or something. Maybe if it was like a, drop punt fucking around the world contest, I'll probably have you, but probably nothing else.
I can't kick for shit. What are you actually benching on a bench anyway for the viewers at home? They want to know.
I'm not benching at home. I think I do dumbbells, right? Because I do just home gym sessions. So I do, but I don't do maxes. So I do like 40 kilo dumbbells. So that's 80, but I do reps of 10. So
we're actually the same. So I do 40s, but I do 4 sets of 8. So there you go.
That's a lot of fucking sets, mate.
Yeah, well, I get 32 reps in it. So that basically, but yeah, I just do full body workouts. So.
Yeah, well, I haven't worked out pretty much since I moved to Queensland because I had a home gym. So I had to sell everything off. I haven't been able to do a home gym because the house has been kind of shit. It's been leaking and carpet's been moldy and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to do that. So I'll probably do 30s or 35s now. So you probably got me covered.
Yeah, I noticed the t-shirts aren't fitting tight around the biceps anymore, so I kind of figured that there might have been something happening. In there.
That's all I
Yeah, no, we're getting off topic here, but yeah, thanks for having me on the podcast, and yeah, we'll do one on mine next week from then on and see how we go.
Easy, mate. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's tuned out by now anyway, mate. I think they're all like, oh, mate, these guys stopped talking SuperCoach a long time ago. Guys, if you've made it this far in the podcast, let me know in the comments. I'll see if I can get a prize going for whoever's still fucking listening. So I'm just gonna test it out. And then if like 20 people comment, I'm like, all right, no prize. But if you're still here and you just make a comment saying, hey, I was here in fucking the 45th minute and 25th second, and I'll see what we can do.
All right, done, mate. All right.
What do you got plans for the rest of your day, mate?
I'm gonna have to do a team review real quick. Hopefully I can get that done by 6:30, and then I'll probably do a sneaky live for a little bit.
Wait, why don't you do a live first? Then I'll jump on the live with you.
You want to jump on the... Yeah, fuck, we can do that. I just want to make some coffee and get a bit of caffeine hit, and we'll go live. No worries. I'll tag you on a post, and we'll go for it.
How long, mate? How long do I need to, like, because like, it's either now, because I don't know when these cunts going to call me. Oh, shit, I'm still recording. I can't say that. I don't, you know what? How about I end this podcast, and then we'll talk off camera. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. SuperCoach Masters. Remember to buy some polos. Don't be fucking stingy. Buy some polos. Thank you, everyone who did. See you.
Thank you.